Thank you very much. And I've always told Coloradans that one thing we need to do is have more Colorado and Washington and less Washington and Colorado. But one of the things I think we could do is maybe take a little bit of Washington and make it less Washington. Perhaps we can cure some agencies like the BLM of Potomac fever by moving them out of Washington. For example, if you just look at the numbers Congressional Research Service uses, the Bureau of Land Management administers over roughly 248.3 million acres of public land. 248.3 million acres. 248.2 million acres are located west of the Mississippi River. That's over 99% of BLM lands located out west. No question that having some headquarters out west would, I think, vastly improve and result in better policies for ranchers, for landowners, for energy producers, for constituents who enjoy these lands. BLM Planning 2.0 is a great example of how little Washington understands about the West and how bureaucrats get in the way of how things work in the West, and a one-size-fits-all approach has failed public policy. Do you believe, Congressman Zinke, do you believe in the notion of putting our federal workforce, at least portions of it, at the Department of Interior, that specializes on public lands initiatives closer to the lands and the people that they affect?
I think they should be close to the land, and in some instances, in Utah, where you have 67% is BLM, you can look at different management schemes on it. The Department of Ag has stewardship programs. There's a lot of tools that we can use, but I think the bottom line is the decisions oftentimes are better at the front line if you empower your people to do them. And there's a saying in the military, centralized direction, decentralized execution. That means we should hold true NEPA. We should hold true the values that we believe as a country we should uphold: public access, clean air, clean water. But how you execute day-to-day operations sometimes, oftentimes it's better if it's done on the front line.
So
they live it every day.
So your commitment to work with me on moving agencies like BLM to the West.
I'm committed to look at our organization across the board of what we're going to look like as a department 100 years from now. Roosevelt, I keep going back to Roosevelt because I'm a great admirer, but I think he did a lot of things right. I mean, Roosevelt, about 100 years ago, decided to take a bold move, and it wasn't particularly supported at the time, not by all parties, but he did do a lot which we live in the legacy of Roosevelt today. And I think we have to be bold and look at what the Department of Interior should look like 100 years from now to better manage the problems that we have coming. And there's a lot of problems. No doubt recreation is going to be a bigger piece. They're not making any more land. We need to make sure what we're doing is appropriate. We need to make sure that clean air, clean water, those type of things. Again, so my daughter's children will look back and say, we did it right. And I think that has to be a goal that we all share.